Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel, JenksTCG. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I'm mainly talking about finance and Pokemon trading cards, selling, buying, the whole works. In today's video or episode, we're going to be taking a look at how to buy Pokemon at about 60% of their value so that you can flip it online or start building up a personal collection. Depends on what you're trying to do, but this is mainly going to be targeted at people that are looking to sell on eBay, TCG Player, or something, or make a profit on singles. If you're new here, I try to talk mainly about finance and Pokemon selling, buying, trading. This is episode 3 of my journey on just being in the Pokemon business world. So thanks for being here. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It means a lot to me. And if you have any advice for me or want to hear any advice, go ahead and comment. Tell me what you want to hear or what you want to tell me about the Pokemon business, because if I learn, we all learn together. So thank you so much for being here. Let's go ahead and hop into the video. Alright, so first I want to talk about buying and selling. I'm going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek at a collection I bought. I had plans for this video to be much bigger collections, but they actually just didn't come in. Some shipping issues on some of the sellers' parts, but that's okay. So my first strategy that I want to talk about is how you can buy cards at about 60% of their value so you can flip them and make a profit. Okay, so the main strategy here is you want to go ahead and go onto Facebook groups. So for this in particular, I'm going to be talking about Burbank City Poke Market. There are several hundreds of Pokemon Facebook groups that are dedicated out there. And this would work on eBay too, but I want to go ahead and jump into the Facebook groups, as this is what I use the most when it comes to buying Pokemon cards. So when we're buying Pokemon cards, obviously, as I'm trying to sell them on TCG Player or eBay, I want to be able to make a profit. So the number that I usually like to get Pokemon cards for is about 60% of TCG Player near mint low. So obviously, if a card is near mint, it's a lot easier to sell at a bigger price, where if it's lightly played, moderately played, stuff like that, you might want to buy it at a little bit cheaper. And I'm not opposed to buying those cards, but I just prefer to get near mint cards. So always, when you're messaging sellers, be sure to let them know that that's what you're looking for, and make sure you're double checking that that's what you're getting. So I wanted to go ahead and give you a little bit of a tour here. We have Burbank City Poke Market. This is probably the #1 group that I buy from, and just looking around here, you can scroll down and you will find infinite collections, booster boxes, old school, more old school, claim sales, new product. So yeah, right now with the Pokemon boom, it's a little crazy. There's a lot of more older product compared to when I first joined this group, probably 5-6 years ago. But that's just the Pokemon boom going on. So mainly what I do is I'll go down here and I'll just look for a collection. And sometimes I buy smaller collections, maybe like 20, 30 cards. Sometimes I'll buy collections of maybe 50 cards, 100 cards. I've kind of bought all the different types of collections you could see, whether it's a lot or whether it's just like someone's entire collection with bulk and all the cards they own. But I want to go ahead and scroll down here, and we'll just use this as an example. So with this lot, this seller has a ton of cool cards. Looking around, they have a bunch of different products and stuff. So let's just focus on the cards. Say that all of these were available. The red X's probably meaning they're not. So now that I know that this collection is available for sale, I will go, okay, this is cool. This guy has a lot of Pokemon cards. I'm going to message him and offer him 60% of TCG near mint low on all of his cards. And if they're bulk EX, GX, or V Pokemon, basically if the cards are like under $350 in price, I'll offer $1 on them. So this is really good because it allows you to get bulk EX, GX, V for $1, which a lot of people buy them at $1.25, $1.50. And if you want to complete the sale because you think it's going to be valuable, you can also get some wiggle room going $1.25, $1.50. It's all up to you and what you want your margins to be. But remember, Pokemon is razor thin on margins, so you just want to be very aware of that. So let's just say this collection, I'm going to go ahead and message the seller, and I do this for everyone that I purchase a collection off of. I go, hi, I'm interested in your lot. Full transparency. I think this part is probably the most important part. Full transparency. I want to buy your entire lot at 60% TCG Player low, and then you go ahead and be like, I know that seems a little low, but I'd like to buy your whole lot. If you're interested, go ahead and let me know, and just leave it up to them. If they're interested, they're going to message you back and be, hey, I'm interested in that. I want to move this entire lot to one person. No one's been biting. Go ahead and send me an offer. So from there, if that actually happens, you can go ahead, and what I like to do is I like to pull up Excel and I just go through everything and then send the seller an offer. From there, you can negotiate a little bit. I mean, if the seller increases $10 or something, it's really not a big deal, because when you purchase lots of this kind of size, that's usually worth it because you're going to get a lot of cool cards in there. Worst case scenario, the seller says, no, I'm not interested. I was hoping for more money. That's completely fine. Move on to the next lot. As you can see, we're just scrolling here. There are several hundreds of lots in this group. The posts are endless. There is infinite cards to find. Here's another one. This is a great lot that I would look to pick up. I mean, you can just look at this. We got $, maybe $1.50, $1. All these are $1. The full art trainers, basically all of this is $1. Except, well, alright, there's Crobats and stuff in there, but you get the gist. Like, these things like Togekiss V, you can buy them for $1, and people don't bat an eye. So this is a great strategy for getting this, and I wanted to go ahead and show you how I calculate price. Alright, so now we're here in Excel. If you don't have Excel, Google Sheets will work as well, and this is what I use to quickly calculate price. So, let's say we take Crobat V. The seller has some Crobat Vs, and we want to buy them at 60%. So, we'll say Crobat V is like $15. I don't actually remember what it is. It might be closer to 14. If we go 15 and we hit enter, we now have a lot of information. So our cost of the card is $15. Our fees is 0.13. Our shipping is 55 cents. That's a rough estimate because I buy my shipping supplies in bulk and stuff. So I use 55 as a little bit of a generous number for the stamp, the top loader, the envelope, kind of the whole package. So then our break, even if we wanted to make $0, would be $12.50, and this fee is for TCG Player. If you were using eBay, you would calculate it accordingly. And then I know that if I want to buy this card at 60% of value, I would buy it at 9. So with this formula, I have a direct reference to T7, which is the buy percentage. That's the 60%. So that's just going to give us the buy price. And then you have these other sell references that you can change and whatever. So you can see how if we had, let's do the special delivery Pikachu. So I think this card is like 80, maybe 70 right now. If we wanted that, you would want to drag these down. We would buy it for $42, make 60% on it. So this is a really easy way to go ahead and price out collections really quickly. I do this all the time, and it has been pretty successful. All right, so here's an example of a lot that I purchased. You got all these pretty much bulk Vs, and then you have a few chase cards at the bottom. So I went ahead and messaged the seller over here. Basically just said, hey, I buy cards at around 60% and bulky XGXV at $1. If your lot doesn't sell for higher, I'll buy it at 45. Let me know if you're interested. This person I'm actually friends with, so I wasn't as professional as usual. Usually I'm very, like a little bit more cordial about stuff like this, but this was just kind of like, hey, friend, by the way, I buy stuff at 60%. So he went ahead and said $50 and it's yours, and then I just said I'll take it. So yeah, I had to pay up another $5, but that's completely fine by me, and that's a lot secured. So now that I've talked about buying lots and stuff, that's really easy. You can just go ahead and list those guys on TCG Player or eBay, and then because you bought it at 60%, you're going to be able to make a decent chunk of your monies back just because you need to take in fees and shipping and stuff like that. But usually I'm able to come out with a pretty decent return on the investment here, and my inventory has grown. I started with an inventory of probably like 20 cards on TCG Player, and now my inventory is... all this is EXGXV and some of, well, I guess there's some codes, but you can see the sleeved cards in there as well. And then I just started uploading my personal collection, so me buying has just kind of accelerated the stock that I have in my inventory. And it's really fun being able to get mail all the time that you're spending money on and opening it up and being like, oh, I got a good deal on this, buying bulk GXEXVs for $1. It's a really fun feeling, so I look forward to collections all the time. I'm going to go ahead and show you a collection that I purchased using this strategy off of a contact I know. Alright guys, starting with collection number 1, we got the package right here. I believe I bought this for about $44.20, I think was what it came to. It might have been just $44. Go ahead and pull it out, make sure there's nothing in there. And yeah, this was just mainly like bulk cards, Champions Pass stuff. I worked it out with this friend of mine. I didn't really want to buy Champions Pass stuff at $1 each on bulk, so just decided, I think I paid about 80 cents on the bulk cards. But this guy, shout out to my guy Jake. I don't want to say his whole name, but if you're watching, Jake, thank you so much for top loading every card. Like, you're the real homie, because top loaders, they're kind of expensive. But go ahead and show off some of the stuff that we got in this collection. We got some Wailord V, Elagos's, Grapplox, Pikachu V. We got Mega Lopuff, Cursula, Alcremie. It looks like we got some Vivid Voltage Hollows. I remember these being in the lot, but I didn't really take a good look at them. So we got Tornadus, Shaman, Leon, Zeraora, Zarude, Togekiss VMAX, another Zorora, and Darmanitan V. So we got some nice Vivid Voltage cards. A few of the collections in this video have some random Vivid Voltage cards. We got Darmanitan V. The lighting's not very good, but these were actually like part of the most expensive part of the lot was these two Mewtwo's. I think I got these for like, I don't remember, 10 each, maybe 8? I don't know if that was correct, but 2 Mewtwo promos. And then we got some more stuff. We got the Dreadnought V full art, Misty's Determination full art, more Picos for days, Grimmsnarls, and that's it for this collection. So as you can see, just on that little collection, we were able to come out pretty on top. We bought most of those cards for about $1, and if they were more than $3-4, I bought them at about 60%. And you can kind of just get into the habit of doing this. If you buy out people's entire collections, you can be like, hey, by the way, I do this all the time. Just be sure to let people know that I buy collections, and if you have anyone else that wants to sell their collection and you enjoy doing business with me, just slide them my way. I did an offer-up deal where I did something very similar. The guy wanted about $200, and I offered him $90 on it, and then just because it was definitely not worth $200, but he ended up coming down to $90 on it. And then when we finished the transaction, I was like, hey, if you know anyone, be sure to let them know I'm in the area buying and selling cards. So that's a contact that I now know. And then just the other day, I had a really good friend of mine that came over and to my house, and we worked out a trade. I was able to get a bunch of stuff at a good deal. He was happy, I was happy, and everything was solid. I would have showed you that collection, but I was too anxious. I went through, sorted it all, and then put it into my different inventory, so for another video. But this video was supposed to be me looking at only collections, but they didn't come in time, so we're going to be taking a look at other collections later, and we'll do that sometime later this week. But that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully this helps you with sourcing cards. I know that this is something I've always had a hard time doing. I'm going to go ahead and talk about eBay sourcing cards and stuff in a different video, but this is using Facebook groups specifically. It doesn't have to be Verbank. It can be any Facebook group that's out there, but simply just being like, hey, I have, I'm buying cards. I'll offer you 60% on your lot, full transparency. And it's kind of a common negotiation tactic that if you tell the person what you're trying to achieve flat out, especially if you're like lowballing, essentially, they're much more willing to like work with you about stuff like that, instead of being like, hey, I buy a lot, and then they're just like, okay, what's your offer? And then you're like 60%. So you want to be very upfront and transparent about what you're doing, and just letting people know that you buy lots. And if they say no, worst case you can do is move on. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. We're going to go ahead next week. Hopefully, if the collections come in, I'm going to do a office tour and open up some collections. So next week will be a much more fun episode than this one. This was definitely a more strategic one compared to some of the other strategies. But that's going to be it for this episode, guys. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, comment about the things that you want to hear from me and any advice that you have for me as a small business that's looking to expand. And that's going to be it for me, guys. You guys have a great night. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good night.